Hello, welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It is Wednesday the 4th of September 2013. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Alright, I have an article in front of me here from WND under the column Education. I was just talking about this over the phone with my brother-in-law because I was really... When I heard about this yesterday, I was like, this is just... man, what won't the American people put up with, I guess, you know? Our founding fathers would have been tarring and feathering people by, a long time ago, my friend. Anyways, homeschool raid on family viewed as terror. You guys are making a big mistake. Bob Unruh wrote this article. And if you want to go check it out, it's on WND.com under the column Education, Homeschool Raid on Family Viewed as Terror. So, the German government is being accused of terrorism on its own citizens for a police squad raid in which officers armed with a battering ram forcibly took 4 children from their parents because they were being homeschooled. Oh, this is in Germany, huh? Okay, well, my facts are all mixed up. I thought this was in America, but I guess this is in Germany. So, the German government did this. Well, actually, I'm already confused. The Wunderlich family with Michael Ferris on the HSLDA. That's the family right there, and those are the kids that got taken away. So, creepazoid mode. Alright, so my bad. They're not American. They're German, I guess. The German government is being accused of terrorism on its own citizens for a police squad raid in which officers armed with a battering ram forcibly took 4 children from their parents because they were being homeschooled. The accusations are being posted on a Facebook page for the German embassy in Washington. Unbelievable. This could reasonably be viewed as terrorism by the state against its own citizens. Something I know you yourself would decry and condemn in any other nation on this earth, Mark Romanowitz told German embassy officials through the social media page. Fights for freedom in matters of faith and conscience are not new to Germany. I invite you to remember the courageous Martin Luther, a man who stood up for what was right, following his faith in God, rather than the precepts of men. He said, "This is a man I know your nation is justifiably proud to have sired. Be the Germany you know you should be and release these children to their parents to pursue a quality education as their parents. Who are the rightful determinants of their children's education? See fit, rather than go back to that shameful era of some 70 years ago where people were persecuted, forcibly removed from their homes, and even killed due to their faith and heritage." Amy Escobar took a little more succinct approach to counseling the German government. You guys are making a big mistake. The reaction developed after a WND reported 4 homeschooled children ages 7 to 14 were forcibly taken from their Darmstadt, Germany home by police armed with a battering ram. The parents, Dirk and Petra Wunderlich, were told they won't see their children again soon. According to the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, the world premier defender of homeschoolers' family. Well, whatever. The Wunderlichs have battled for several years Germany's World War II era requirement that all children submit to the indoctrination programs in the nation's public schools. The shocking raid was made solely because the parents were providing their children's education. HSLDA said the organization noted that the paperwork that authorized police officers and social workers to use force on the children contained no claims of mistreatment. My butt. Yeah, just like that little kid that was taken away from her parents because her dad smoked pot, and then they gave his kid to some lunatic that had her killed. CPS, whatever you want to call them, man. I mean, anybody who goes after your children in the state is a creepazoid, 100%. Unknown locations. HSLDA said the children were taken to unknown locations, and government officials omnisciently promised the parents that they would not be seeing their children anytime soon. The raid, which took place Thursday at 8 a.m. as the children were beginning their day's classes, has been described by observers as brutal and vicious. Imagine your neighbor getting his front door busted down and then seeing police carry their children out and taking them away. That's like the most disturbing thing I can imagine. A team of 20 social workers, police, and special agents stormed the family's home. HSLDA reported that a Judge Koenig, who is assigned to the Darmstadt family court, signed an order authorizing the immediate seizure of the children by force. HSLDA's lawyer, Michael Donnelly, said that when child protective systems in countries such as Germany, which claims to be a liberal democracy, committed to pluralism and human rights, allows for police raids to take children from otherwise good families who are providing a home education, liberty is at risk everywhere, even the United States. Yes, even the United States. Of course, he told WND. There are already too many voices in the United States that want to advance the idea that the state must control education for the safety of the state or other reasons, he said. And this is the same rationale of the German government in perpetrating, deplorable acts like this. Why should we think it couldn't or wouldn't happen here? Donnelly continued, can a government that can order you to get health care tell you that you don't qualify for certain life-saving treatments, tell parents they can't allow their children to get certain kinds of counseling, or that they must have a particular kind of medical treatments, or that certain religious speech is intolerant and may not be permitted or must be punished, or that only natural curricular standards are acceptable for all children, etc. Can a government like that order you to send your children to school and then punish you if you don't? The German judge authorized the raid because the parents didn't cooperate with the authorities to send the children to school. HSLDA said the judge also authorized the use of force against the children, reasoning that such force might be required because the children had adopted the parents' opinions regarding homeschooling and that no cooperation could be expected from either the parents or the children. Yeah, that's absolute terrorism, my friend. And I'm not talking about the fake made-up Middle East terrorism, why we went into Iraq. I'm talking about the government terrorizing us to give up our liberties for security, false senses of security. There have been no significant changes to the status of family members since the raid, but HSLDA continues to monitor circumstances. The group has posted online a list of contacts for various German officials linked to the case, including the telephone number for the German embassy in Washington. How to contact? It was on the embassy's own Facebook page where the government actions were being blasted into bits. This is happening all over and people will not stand for this, wrote Lindsay Ashby Hall. Governments everywhere need to know you don't own our children. I am amazed that Germany is still enforcing an anti-homeschooling law enacted by Hitler by sending a SWAT team to remove the Wunderlich's children, added Timothy J. McMahon. A UN rapporteur has criticized Germany for its harsh treatment of homeschoolers way back in a 2006 report. Germany authorities should immediately release the Wunderlich children. Said Bob Schmidt, we are appalled at the shameful abuse of misappropriated power in your government's kidnapping of the Wunderlich children. He added, I only wish someone would send an extraction team to rescue both the kidnapped Wunderlich children and their parents from the shameful totalitarian regime. Maybe the Israelis can do it. One commenter, Sybil Brinson, who apparently knows the family, said, those kids are some of the happiest children I have seen growing up in our neighborhood. I am horrified by the way this matter developed. The kids must be returned home. This is with exclamation marks. Another noted that the German embassy in London, under pressure, was busily deleting comments as they were posted. Shame. Shame on German authorities, wrote Ingo Brewer. James Metzgar noted, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights recognizes that parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children. Furthermore, the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, of which Germany is a party, promises respect for the liberty of parents to choose for their children's schools, other than those established by the public authorities. I think it's a shame that almost 70 years after the end of World War II, the German government is still knocking down the doors of families in order to deny them their civil rights. May God bless the Wunderlich family, added Megan Boniface. There are no words to describe how disgusted I am by your treatment of the Wunderlich family. This type of intolerance has no place in a free society. Shame on you, said Joe White. To several of the criticisms, the embassy referred people to an online description of German schools. Dirk Wunderlich described the attack. I looked through a side window and saw many people, police, and special agents, all armed. They told me they wanted to come in to speak with me. I tried to ask questions, but within seconds, 3 police officers brought a battering ram and were about to break the door in, so I opened it. This narration continued. The police shoved me into a chair and wouldn't let me even make a phone call at first. It was chaotic as they told me that they had an order to take the children. At my slightest movements, the agents would grab me, as if I were a terrorist. You would never expect anything like this to happen in our calm, peaceful village. It was like a scene out of a science fiction movie. Our neighbors and children have been traumatized by this invasion. That's unbelievable. Human rights violations. Michael Ferris, HSLDA founder, said in a report the actions violated a number of established European precedents, including provisions of the European Convention of Human Rights. All of these are trying to set precedents. They're just trying to set precedent after precedent after precedent so that they can get away with trying to put up their New World Order propaganda, you know? Well, it's not really propaganda, but they're trying to establish that, my friend. They want your kids. They want your kids serving for them to take you out, who are veterans, who are constitutional libertarians, conservatives, Christians. They want to take you out, Republicans. They want to take you out, Tea Party, because you believe in good old-fashioned American morals and principles. Germany is a party to numerous human rights treaties that recognize the right of parents to provide an education distinct from the public school so that the children can be educated according to the parents' religious convictions, he said. He continued, Germany has simply not met its obligations under these treaties or as a liberal democracy, HSLDA, and I will do whatever we can to help this family regain custody of their children and ensure that they are safe from their persecution. This case demonstrates conclusively why the Romeich asylum case is so important. Families in Germany need a safe place where they can educate their children in peace. Let me see how much time I have. Well, I don't have that much time. This article goes on and on and on. So if you want to read it, just go ahead and go check it out for yourself. It's a very disturbing thing going on today. If you didn't know, MSNBC had a commercial that they said that we need to start changing the way we think. We need to start thinking about how the kids belong to whole communities and not just their parents. It's just creepy, you guys. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it because when I try to explain it, I go on these rants and I start picking on certain groups that are useful idiots to the state. But you guys out there, you guys know what you're in for. Just pray that God gives you His peace, gives you His joy, fills you with that. That's the most important thing, you know. All of this stuff is really heavy to take. The direction that our world is going in is very disturbing. The fact that we allow this to happen is the more disturbing thing than our actual government being so smart as to use eugenics and, you know, brainwashing techniques from MK Ultra and stuff like that to pass this stuff on us. It's even more disturbing to see that we allow it. And not only do we allow it, but they have manipulated us to wanting to accept it. So I just pray for all you guys out there to just wake up with your liberalism and your democracy nonsense. This is a constitutional republic, and I'm not having this anymore. So God bless you guys, and have a good day.